Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to JI Colourist. My name is Jody and today we are continuing on our series of coloring the zodiac animals. We pick the zodiac of the month, so this month it is Libra, and the animal that I have done a little bit of research on is the swan. So I had no idea that the swan was the Libra animal. It's also the scales. So the scales are a symbol, but the actual animal or spirit animal, depending on which website you look at, is one of them is the swan. So ideally, I would be coloring a swan brand new, and we wouldn't have done one recently. But last month when I did the sapphire, I actually also did the swans on that page from Grains of Gold. So I could have broken this page up into 2 months, but I just wanted to get the page done. And so here is an example of how I colored the swans last month. And I think that turned out pretty good. I did have a bit of I dropped my Pitt Artist pen while I was coloring, and so there's a couple of lines that I've tried to clear up and clean up, but otherwise here is the swan from my Grains of Gold. And then I was looking through my other book. I have used this quite a bit in the last number of months for the series, and there is a beautiful page of the swan here, and so this was one of my options. I've done, like I mentioned, quite a few of the animals already in this book. We've done the hummingbird, we did the ram, we did the seahorses, and I think we've done one other one. Yes, we've done the koi fish. So I thought we've used this book quite a bit this month or this year, so I wanted to actually go ahead and try a new book, do something a little bit different on the channel. And so I have an Animal Mandala book. I don't do a lot of mandalas, but this one was kind of unique, and it was given to me by a girlfriend, and so I've just been doing them pretty much in order so far. And on the opposite side there's a bit of information about the animal on this side. So I went looking through here, and I did find near the back of the book some swans. So I thought today, instead of doing a realistic kind of swan, we would actually spend a little bit of time maybe doing a mandala, because we don't do these pages very often. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to use alcohol markers for a change, and then I'll probably bring in a few other mixed media items like gel pens and maybe some paint pens, but we'll see how that goes. You never know once I start a page what's going to end up on it. But I wanted to also do some fun colors, and because the swan is basically mostly white, a little bit of gray, some orange and black on its face. So I went and I pulled out this color card here. This is 255, and I thought we would quickly swatch out those pens or those alcohol markers that I selected. So we're just going to do that to make sure we've got them, and I've just pulled out enough colors for the items themselves. So I'm just going to place the card there. I'll zoom you in a little bit. Hope everybody's having a good day. This is Copic Chow R59, and it is called Cardinal. So I thought I'd use that for the red. It's a nice deep red. Then I have a Studio 71 marker. I'm trying to use these up, and it's a little bit brighter than I'd like, but that's okay. It's called Orange Peel. Then for the yellow, I have Y15, which is called Cadmium Yellow. Again, it's a little brighter than I wanted, but... And then we have Pale Aqua BG000. And this one is pretty much perfect. It's very light. So I thought that would be good for some shading on the actual swan itself. And then we have V17, which is amethyst. I thought that was a pretty good match for that. And then a Studio 71 marker, royal purple, V13. And that's for that color. These are the colors I'm going to use. And we may or may not go ahead and use some pencils afterwards in similar colors. But yeah, we'll start with that and see how it goes. I did pick this color palette because I need some orange on the beaks. There's some crowns here. I would like to have some red on that. And yeah, so we'll just start on the mandala and see how it goes. While we're doing that, we haven't played our trivia game. I should have known that for a while. So I am going to, while I'm coloring, do a voiceover and add some trivia questions along. So please play along with the trivia if you like. The final answers, and I show the actual questions and the answers at the end of the video, if in case you're wanting to see those cards for yourself. All right, let me get started, and I'll zoom the camera down a bit and we'll get going. Okay, I have actually, as the colors are drying, the BG0000, the pale aqua, is so light that it's almost you can't see it. So I've actually brought in my Staedtler pigment pen Ice Blue and just put a little bit beside it. They will go well together, but I think it's actually you can see it. So I'm adding this to that as well. I will use this for on the swan itself because I think that'll look pretty. But we're going to start at the bottom of the page where there looks to be some kind of like wispy clouds for some reason. So I'm going to go ahead and start that in the blue. And while I do this area here, I thought that I would read you what it says on the side of this page right here. So it says, swans are found in many countries with mild to warm summers. Some species migrate yearly, covering thousands of miles to find warmer climates in the winter. And then in my other book, Mystic Animals, there is also a write-up about swans in there. So I will also get that book out and read you what it says there. And then we'll start on the trivia. The write-up from the Mystic Animals, The Swan. The graceful swan is a storyteller's muse, providing inspiration for ancient mythology and folklore. Tales of love and unity reflect the swan's loyalty and commitment to its mate. It forms strong bonds, building a nest with its lifelong partner and raising a clutch of chicks every year. We'll see how this looks. So this is a pigment pen and a alcohol marker, and see how they work together. I haven't ever tried that before, but we'll see how it goes. You'll have to let me know in the comments below if you mix and match your markers, or if you stick with one brand at a time. If you have multiple brands, do you just use them all together, or do you throw them in a bucket like I do and just kind of pull out what you need? With the swan in mind, we are reminded to cherish the relationships that are mutually rewarding. To open yourself up to love means to love fiercely and fearlessly. Just as the gray cygnet transforms into a splendid swan, opening your heart to the people around you allows your true self to shine. And that's the information about the swan. Okay, so we're going to have kind of some two-toned clouds / water, and we'll see how that looks. I have I have actually harvested my pumpkins now, for those who have been keeping track, and I will reveal the number and items later. Right now, we had some weather that was getting colder at night, and I was concerned that my pumpkins were going to freeze. So I brought them all in, and they are currently in my basement in a sunny window, and I now am turning them every day so that they can turn orange. So they will turn orange with the sun, but they are safe from frost in my basement. And one of the pumpkins, I'll put a picture of me beside it in this video, but it was 20 pounds. So these pumpkins are my biggest crop yet, size-wise, that's for sure. So look for a non-coloring related pumpkin video, how many pumpkins, later on in October. Let's get a start on our trivia for today. Card number 1, question 1. How many dice do you need to play Yahtzee? I love Yahtzee, so I'm pretty sure the answer is 5 dice. And I'll look at the answer now, and it is 5 dice. Great start. I'm going to work on the actual swan now, and I'm going to try and just use the colors that I've got. So I'm going to do a little bit of yellow at the tip of the beak, and then the orange. And it's already bleeding through, so that wasn't great. Okay, I don't have any colorless blender, so I'm hoping that the next color, which is the light black, so not the intense black, but the light black, will sufficiently cover up this area. Question number 2. Where in the human body is urine created? And I am going to say the kidneys. And this is kind of like Amazon printed paper. It's got the black background, and so it's not great paper, but it has a large crown up here. So I'm definitely going to have to bring in a metallic pen of some kind. And I may also have to go and grab some lighter colors here, but we'll start with these colors. So I'm going to go with the lightest color, which is 71. I think I'm going to use the chisel end. Reminder, the question number 2 was, where in the human body is urine created? And the answer is the kidneys. So 2 correct, and we're off to a good start. How are you doing? Of course, I make it hard for myself, and I pick a mandala that has tiny areas, and I'm using alcohol markers, so I may have to rethink this. Actually, I don't think that's part of the crown. Trivia question number 3. How many fingers does Mickey Mouse have on each hand? And I'm going to say 4 if you count the thumb, but I think he has 3 fingers. I'm not sure. We'll find out shortly. I think I'm going to use purple glaze in the center. Okay, so we're going to make this area red. The answer for how many fingers does Mickey Mouse have on each hand is 4. Did you get that one correct? It was a tough one. Question number 4. Who is the lead singer of the group Coldplay? And I'll tell you right now, I have no idea.
And then this is the glaze pen.
The last answer for card number 1, who is the lead singer of the group Coldplay? The singer is Chris Martin. I think you should get bonus points if you got that one correct. All right, that's question number 1, or card number 1 done.
Okay, this is a Dollar Tree gold, and we'll see how that works. Get it going first.
Trivia card number 2, question 1. It is a well-known watch brand and also the 24th and last letter of the Greek alphabet. What word is it? I am going to go with the word omega, and the answer is omega. And I only knew that because of the watch brand. I do not know the Greek alphabet. But that's correct for question number 1 on card number 2. Question number 2, card 2. What combat sport is MMA the acronym for? I'll give you a while to think about that one.
I can clean up the lines and with the Micron black pen. If I go over any of them with the gel pen, so because I do think I want to keep the black lines this time with the black. Okay. Okay, that's our crown up top. So these areas right here aren't part of the crown, so I think I'm going to fix that by doing them a different color. So, and we'll have to pick a color that will actually cover it, so we'll see. That'll be part 2. Okay. Let's move down and work on the actual swans. We can do some blue on this swan here, and I'm going to use the BG000 because that is the super light color.
MMA, the acronym, stands for Mixed Martial Arts.
I'll do the first layer of feathers.
Question number 3. What country is famous for chocolate, banks, and watches? And I'm going to guess Switzerland. Let's find out.
Okay, so my heater has kicked on, so I apologize if you hear the furnace, but it is October in Canada, so that means the days are getting colder. I am using a dual hybrid metallic just to, and it's almost empty, so that's why I didn't choose to use it on the crown above here. There's just a little bit left. In fact, I think there's pretty much nothing left. So just squeezing out every last little drop of this.
Trivia question number 3. What country is famous for chocolate, banks, and watches? Is indeed Switzerland. Excellent. Question number 4. What part of speech is the word cuddly?
Along with the blue, I have pulled out another really light color. It's YG, and then it's got 4 zeros, and it's called Lily White. So that's as close to white as we can get, so I thought I would use that. And it's very, very, very pale yellow, and once it dries you'll hardly see it at all, but I thought it just add a little bit of color
So question 4, what part of speech is the word cuddly? Cuddly is a descriptive word, so that would make it an adjective, I think. And the answer is an adjective. My English teacher would be so happy with me. How are you doing? Question number 1 of card number 3. What comprises the layer in the stratosphere that protects us from the sun's harmful ultraviolet radiation?
I don't do many mandalas, so this book here, which focuses on an animal on each one, I tend to do the animal first and then the rest afterwards. How do you normally approach your mandalas? Do you start on the outside and work your way in, or do you pick one element and do all of it? What's your preference? There's obviously no right or wrong way. Make sure you can see everything I'm doing.
Answer for trivia question number 1, I am going to say, is the ozone layer.
Just basically adding a bit of color where there would be some shadow, because swans are basically white, but I mean you can do gray or blue, and this time I'm using blues and yellows. Hopefully that, not going for necessarily a surreal, totally realistic. For a change, I'm trying to break out of my comfort zone a bit.
The answer for card 3, question 1, is indeed ozone.
If you're a October birthday, give yourself a shout out in the comment below and tell me what your favorite animal is, or if you even knew that the swan was a October Libra animal.
Question 2, who appears on the American $100 bill?
If you have another animal that you enjoy, let me know in the comments below what that is. Okay, I'm gonna do this as blue as well. I have 2 colors of glaze, and I will go ahead and do those now.
The answer for who appears on the American $100 bill, my guess is Benjamin Franklin, but I'm not sure. The answer is Benjamin Franklin. Excellent. Question 3, what color are the goal posts in ice hockey? And I'm going to guess blue.
Might be fun to do the same colors on their crowns. So this is a jelly roll glaze metallic.
The answer for color of goal posts in hockey is red.
I'm going to do half of it with the metallic and then some of the glaze pen. And I can do gold with the yellow.
Card 3, trivia question number 4. What do you call a person who exposes misconduct or illegal activities in an organization? And I am going to say whistleblower. Let's find out. Answer for question number 4 is indeed whistleblower. Excellent. We have enough time in this video that we will do another card.
Let's do some of the outer edge while this area here dries. Okay, I've brought in the Pitt Artist Pen Lilac 239. It pretty much matches this color, so on areas that are quite small, I'm going to go ahead and use that pen, because these alcohol markers just seem to be quite thick for this area. So get past some of those difficult spots and then carry on. And the alcohol marker also seems to spread and bleed a lot more than the pigment pens. So it's not making me like them any more than trying to get a little bit more proficient and use up some of my supplies. Okay, that's what I'm going to do to kind of get around those tiny areas. I'm going to do the lighter purple there and then the darker purple on the sides. And again, I have a dark purple, so I'm gonna, and this is Purple Violet 136. So the tiny areas, I'm going to use the Pitt pens. Not really cheating, but hopefully that helps keep my page looking still neat and tidy.
Trivia card number 4, question 1. Adobe Acrobat Reader is most frequently used to read computer files ending in what extension? And I'm going to say PDF. Answer for card 4, question 1 is indeed PDF. The next question is quite difficult. What is the name of the political party led by Nelson Mandela from 1991 to 1999? I have no idea, so I'll just read the answer. It is called the ANC, African National Congress.
Okay, I'll do this all the way around, and I'll be back. Okay, I have completed the outer circle in the 2 tones of purple, and I must say I think that really choosing the correct medium for the paper and the image illustration itself is key to success, and I do not think that alcohol markers are ideal for either this paper or the fine detail of this image. So I think that before I go further on this page, I think that I am going to have to switch to just using either the pigment pens or gel pens, maybe even bring in a little bit of colored pencils, because yeah, the alcohol markers, they just spread way too much. They go outside the lines. So I do understand what people say when they're looking at their pages and they're saying, no, this is just too fine of a detail for alcohol markers, because yes, I'm having less fun than I would normally. So yeah, choosing the correct medium with the correct paper and the correct illustration is key to success. So if you're down on your coloring, maybe it's not you, maybe it's just the combination of the mediums and the paper that you're using. So let's go and grab a few other mediums and I'll just continue on. But I just thought I would come back and let you know that I have decided not to continue with just the alcohol markers, because yeah, it's not going well and I would like this page to turn out in the end. Okay, I'll keep coloring and we'll continue on with the trivia questions. Before leaving off the markers altogether though, I am going to complete the kind of the background crest area in the alcohol markers, because they are larger in size, so I'll be able to get into those areas not too difficultly. I'm going to do yellow, orange, and then red, and red will be the smaller one, and I probably will come in with the Pitt pen in red to do that one.
Question number 3, I'll also put on screen. What is Cosa Nostra another name for.
And I might also do yellow in here because a kind of similar shape.
Answer for question number 3 is the Mafia, and I did not know that.
So that's how that's going to look. I'll keep going and get a bit more done and bring you back when I'm doing another part of the picture. For the red, I am using the Deep Scarlet Red 219 in the Pitt Artist pen. The pigment ink doesn't spread like the alcohol ink. This page itself hasn't made me like alcohol markers any more than I did before, so definitely will need to try again on a more appropriate page.
Okay, question number 4. What does the Latin word rex mean? So the answer for question number 4, I'm just going to have to look up because my Latin is non-existent. So the Latin word rex means king. And that means that I got 1 correct on card number 4. And I hope you're doing better. But this last trivia card was quite difficult.
So I'm wanting the swans to kind of stand out. So what I'm going to do is there's some large open area around here. I'm going to take a lavender light, which is a really light purple. And so it would be around this area here, and do that to just see if I can make the birds stand out a bit more.
So those are all the trivia questions for today. We did 4 cards, so I got 11 out of 16. How did you do?
And that also fill in some of this white of the paper, because my swans are going to be also quite white, so I want them to not blend in to the background. So we'll see if I can just add a bit of color behind them.
On screen, I will place the front and back of each trivia card so that you can see the questions and answers for yourselves. So for the next little while, that's what you're going to see on screen.
I'm going to fill in this area here as well, just so there's not some kind of looks strange having white showing there. So okay, here's how it's looking so far. I'm going to work a little bit more on the male swan, or the blue swan. I'm just using the darker Pitt pen, which is ice blue, which is still very light, and I'm going to do these shadowed areas on the back of the wing, and then I'll use the lighter blue.
Now you've had a chance to see all the cards for yourself. For the rest of the video, I just thought while you're watching what's happening on screen, I would just do a little brief chit chat and catch you up on how things are going at the Jaya Colourist house.
Let's go ahead and do similar over on the yellow side.
Well, you all know that I've had a busy summer with my garden, and harvesting is in full swing at the moment. Next weekend is actually Thanksgiving, And I know that Canada and America both celebrate Thanksgiving, but I'm not sure about the other colorists around the world. Do you celebrate Thanksgiving in your country? And if so, do you have a special dish that you prepare just at Thanksgiving? Let me know.
Let's work on this center area here.
Typically for Thanksgiving, I always make pumpkin pie, and obviously this year I'll be doing that with the pumpkins that we harvested. And also we usually make a turkey or a large chicken and have stuffing and mashed potatoes and all of that good stuff. So yeah, let me know if you celebrate Thanksgiving or a harvest celebration, and if you have special meal that you gather your whole family for together. The family is doesn't have to be real family, it can be friends as well.
I'm going to use the lightest yellow.
We also have the autumn leaves out right now, so my backyard is looking beautiful, and I'll put a picture on screen.
And then this is the lightest lavender.
I think fall is probably my favorite season due to the colors and the changing of the landscape. It's not muddy from like it is in spring, and it's just beautiful. And the only sad part is I know winter's coming.
Now that our gel pen is totally dry, I'm coming in with the plastic nib micron and just cleaning up the edges and making sure that the lines are still visible. And that just helps keep the definition of what everything is. I know sometimes you like to get rid of the lines, but sometimes I need to put the lines back in. It just cleans everything up a bit. Okay, and that cleans that up. Okay, I don't know if this decision is going to be a good one or not, but there's really way too much happening around here, and I just want to get rid of it. So I'm actually going to take my darkest purple, and I'm just going to go over all of these, the items that are left on the page. So wish me luck. I don't really want to use black at this point, but I'm going to start with the darkest purple. If that isn't dark enough, then I can always go over it with the black, but I don't want any more of all of these designs. It's just way too much. So I want the swans to be the focal point of this page, and there's just so many extra things going on that I would just like to get rid of the rest. So let's see how that works, because there's still quite a bit left on this page, and it doesn't really add to what I'm trying to focus on. So let's just get rid of it. Okay, I'll be right back.
Just watching back as you are watching on screen, and I really am happy that I went and blacked out all of the busyness behind the swans. I think that it makes the page much better.
Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of metallic violet, and it is a Signo Uniball gel pen, and I'm just going to add it to this last outside petal area that kind of separates the main area, the center, from the outside darkest purple. So just so there's a little bit of transition there, and it brings this center item forward and draws your attention away from the dark purple as well, I'm hoping. And I think that kind of blends the purples kind of all together as well. Okay, it's been a little bit. I had to actually stop the camera and do the batteries, recharge the batteries. So I have gone ahead and completed this swan here, and then we'll complete this swan together. But I have used 2 extra items since we last saw each other, and one is a black glaze pen where I did the top, whatever this ornamental thing is, and then I also wanted the swan to stand out more on the page, so I did a black glaze outline of the swan all along the very edge, so not the inside lines but just the outside edge. And then I took some Modge Podge Extreme Glitter and just went over the entire swan so that it is a little bit sparkly. So not sure if you see all the sparkle, but it just adds quite a bit to the swan itself and makes it pop off the page compared to this guy over here. So I think you can see the definition of the entire swan better. And yeah, since I thought about bringing in some grays and doing some gray and stuff, but I am trying to just stick to this color palette, and the addition of black is I think fine when you're doing color palettes usually. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this one with you, and then I'll let you get on with your day. I hope you're enjoying the trivia questions, and by all means let me know how many you got correct out of how many we did today. So this is the black Sakura glaze, and I am just going to get it started and then go over this whole area, starting with the top. With all of these extra mediums, we're always putting things on and then letting them dry. I have been using glaze pens along the way just so that you can see the progress and what I had envisioned. So I typically would have done all the glaze at the very end, but I do. So now we're just going to go along the outside of the swan. And this also helps clean up some of the lines where there might have been a bit of bleed through or with the alcohol ink. Going to have to be careful not to smudge, so I may end up turning the page. Sorry for having to move the book at an angle, but glaze pens are quite liquidy, and you do not want to put your hand in them and smear them, and I have enough problems keeping things from smearing as they are, so apologies for the turning of the book, but if you've never tried that, it certainly is a helpful tip. Okay, we'll let that dry for a few minutes, and then we'll come in with the Modge Podge Extreme Glitter, and I'm just using a cheap paintbrush that I don't care
too much about, and I will definitely though wash it thoroughly after I use it. But let's give the glaze just a little bit of time to dry before we start with the Modge Podge. Okay, when applying the Modge Podge, I always shake it up first, and then this is the Modge Podge Extreme Glitter, and once it's shaken up, you can either dip your paintbrush right into it, or typically there is enough on the cap that I can use the cap kind of like a palette. So I will go ahead and do that, and I'm going to go ahead and put it over the entire swan, and keeping in the lines obviously. And it's basically glitter glue. So it's a sealant, and so you can get, there's a few different Modge Podges out there, and this one is the Extreme Glitter. There's also one that has holographic glitter. I haven't tried that one yet, but you can also get regular old Modge Podge, and you can seal a lot of your different multimedia pages with that. But it's always a last step because you can't color on top of it, so I don't plan on coloring anymore on this swan. Let's swing this into supersonic speed for you, so you don't have to watch me Modge Podge for long. But I did wonder how many of you out there are using Modge Podge on your coloring books. I've been doing it now for I think about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, and it was something fairly new to me, and I quite like it, and just wondered how many of you are out there using Modge Podge, and have you tried the holographic one? I'd love to know if I should get it. Okay, now I'm not going to do the beak area. I'm just going to leave that, and I'm just going to tip the page to make sure I've gotten all of the areas that I want, and it will dry. Okay, I'll let this dry, and I'll bring you back for one final look and see how our page has turned out. Okay, one final look at our completed page, and here we are. I also included on the bottom, I wrote Libra Swan, October 2024, just so I like to date my pages now that I've been coloring for a number of years, and this is all of the shiny goodness on the two swans. And I think that we stuck excellently close to the color palette with only the addition of black. So pretty happy with how everything turned out. And I do think that going with just the solid purple in there did help bring the swans forward, and I was done with enough of the small items. So there you go. Here is our Zodiac animal for October 2024. We are 10 months into this Zodiac animals. We've got 2 more months left. So I would just want to say thank you for everybody who has been coming along every month with me as we do the Zodiac animal for the month. If you have a birthday here in October, I wish you happy birthday, and I hope you have a wonderful month. And for the rest of you, I hope you have a colorful and creative week, and I will see you on Wednesday for another whip video from our festive coloring book. All right, take care everyone. Happy Sunday. Bye-bye.